Hey everyone, happy Thursday. Oh, I'm saying happy Thursday. Happy Thursday, happy Friday's Eve. Welcome to another edition of the Travel Crew Travel Talk. I am your host, Tabitha Washington, owner and founder of the Travel Crew, where we've been creating phenomenal travel experiences for phenomenal people. How's everyone tonight? I hope you're doing well. Y'all, it's the end of a week. Another week. It just seems like time just keeps passing by, just going. So I hope you're doing really well out there. So glad you're tuning in. As always, I'm just going to tell you hello to all the people tuning in from our Facebook business page, the Travel Crew. For those that are tuning in from YouTube, thank you so much for liking and subscribing to our channel. Let's continue to grow that channel. Thank you so much. And also to my people in our Facebook group, the Travel Talk Facebook group. You know how I say it every week, but I'm going to keep on saying it. You'll see instructions around this post right now where you're seeing my video, and it tells you how to register your name. That way, if you put a comment, tell me hello or anything like that, I can see who's telling me hello. If not, all I see, it just says Facebook user. So I'm just letting you know that. So go ahead and register. You only have to do it once, and that's it. And then get in there. So thank you again for tuning in. If you're out there, please just let me know. Just say hello. Let me know how you're doing and everything. I'm so glad that you're with me. So glad that you're keep supporting me every week. I already have some comments. Let's see what we got. All right, we have Tasha. Thank you, Tasha, for tuning in. And Andrea says, "Hey Tabitha, I love your shirt." Thank you, guys. So normally when you see me, I have on a black shirt, two different black shirts with the Travel Crew logo. So this is a new one with the official Travel Crew logo. So I hope you like it. Thank you, Andrea. I appreciate it. It's all good. Okay, I see more and more people coming in. Thank you again for the support. And like I said, it's another edition of the Travel Crew Travel Talk Live. So I know we weren't live last week. We had a little replay. I hope that was some good information for you. If you are going to be tuning in, if you're tuning in and it's the replay and you have a question, just put hashtag replay on there, or even just give me a little shout out with hashtag replay. I know a lot of people catch these videos afterwards. And if you ever want to see one of our past videos, you can just go to our YouTube channel, The Travel Crew, and we have our videos there. Okay, so tonight's subject is this is why I'm talking about it. And some of these tips you may have heard before, you may have heard from me before, but it seems they bear repeating. And that's because I'm seeing y'all making these mistakes, y'all. And when I say I'm seeing it, I'm seeing it from people who travel with the Travel Crew. And so I can't have y'all out there like that. I can't have y'all not hitting your travel best. Okay. So we're just gonna talk about some things to we need you on point, guys, for traveling and stuff. So we're gonna sometimes you just need to hear it more than once and stuff, and hopefully it'll sink in. We're gonna talk about I got 5 things of what you don't need to be doing, what not to do before your next trip. Okay, so y'all ready for this? If anybody's ready for this, go ahead and just tell me ready. Let me see in the comment section. I just want to know you're out there. If you're ready for this information. Ooh, more people joining. Come on in, guys. All right, we got somebody said they're ready. Good. To the people that just joined in, I see more people piling in. Again, Tabitha Washington with the Travel Crew, where we create phenomenal travel experiences for phenomenal people. And tonight's topic is what not to do before your next trip. So here's the first one I want to talk about. So I want to know right now, can anybody, and if you can, put a 1 in the comment section. Can anybody put their hands on their passport right now? I don't mean that you can't you don't need to leave your computer or your tablet or your phone or whatever to go get it. But right now, if I was to say go get your passport, you know exactly where your passport is. put a 1 in the comment section. I want to know who's really ready for travel. And the reason why I'm saying this is because you need to know where your passport is, because before you take your next international trip, you actually need to look at it, guys. And this is what I'm seeing. And the reason why I'm saying that, sometimes we put it in a special place and we may forget it or whatever. But that's not the key thing. What I need you guys to do is pay attention to the expiration date on your passports. Because what I'm seeing is some of you all aren't really concerned about it. And now you're doing rush jobs to hurry up and expedite these passports and stuff for things that should have been taken care of. And I've seen this for two of the Travel Crew trips, two separate trips, where I've had people rushing to get renewals. And I'm like, why? Y'all known about this trip for a while. So this is I need y'all to work on that. I need you guys, if you don't have it in your hand now, after this session here, I want you to go get your passport, open it up and look at it and look at the date. Now, this is what you need to know. Most international destinations will not let you in if your passport is going to expire in less than 6 months. There are some that may do maybe less. I forgot what country it is. Somebody, you can do it with 3 months. But anyway, just go by 6 months. 6 months is a good gauge. If your passport, so today is what, August 25th. So if your passport was expiring in, y'all help me out, 8, 6, 4, February 25th, I believe that's 6 months from now. If not, forgive me. Yeah, 6 months from now, you wouldn't be allowed to enter the country. And so therefore you need to get your passport renewed. Okay. That's just how it is. Most countries are like, if your passport is expiring within 6 months from you arriving in that country, you cannot travel. You can't enter that country. Another thing to consider is that when you renew your passport, you have to turn in your old passport. So think of that also. So you want to start planning out when you're going to do this, okay? So key thing, like I said, when this call is over, I need you to go put your hands on your passport and look at the expiration date and say, is it time to get renewed? And if it is, go ahead and get that thing renewed, because COVID pushed back a lot of processing times. What used to take just, a little bit of time, it's taking a little longer because they shut down the offices. And then when they opened them back up, there was a backlog of people trying to get passports or get their passports renewed. So you need to get on this, okay? We need to avoid these expedited fees and stuff and just take care of it. Also, for those people that are sitting there like, well, I ain't got to put my hands on my passport because I don't have one. My question is, why not? The Travel Crew, we hitting up. I've already said we're trying to conquer the world. We're trying to see the world and stuff. How do you not have your passport yet? Y'all need to go ahead, fill out that application, get your little picture and stuff, and go ahead and get your passport, guys. You pay that money and your passport is good for 10 years. For 10 years, you have this passport. So I need you to go ahead and get this, okay? Get your passport in place, because it's going to mess you up when you're trying to take these little journeys out the country, okay? And I'm going to pause for a second. Let me see, because I have comments coming in. All right. Tasha says no, but she has an appointment to get hers on September 2nd. Good job, Tasha. I appreciate that. Go ahead. Okay, I have a Facebook user that says, I have mine. Good for you. In Real Teas and More, hello, late. Thank you. Hello to you, too. Thank you for tuning in. All right, so we talked about you got to get that passport. And I want to add this. So while we're talking about a passport, I saw this happen recently, too. Your passport card, if you have a passport card, and some of you might, you cannot use a passport card for international flights. A lot of people get passport cards for, number one, it is cheaper than a passport book. And for those that don't know the difference, the passport book is that standard blue thing you see, when you see a picture of a passport, that's considered a passport book. But they also make a passport card. It's just like a little ID with your picture on that. That is good it's really good for cruises, because a lot of people like to use it for cruises so that they don't have to bring their passport. And it's good for crossing a land border into like Mexico and Canada. You could show your passport card. A lot of people like it for that. But one thing to keep in mind is for the cruises, even though you can take the cruise and have a passport card, if something should ever happen to you on a cruise and you're on foreign land, like you got off at one of the ports or something, just say you're in Jamaica or whatever, and you missed the cruise ship or whatever, you may need your passport to get back to the United States or wherever they may fly you to. So that's something to keep in mind too. So it's really, the passport is the way to go. So I need you all to do that. So promise me after this, those that have a passport are going to go reach in that little special place, wherever you have it hiding, look at the date. If your passport is expiring, if that 6-month mark is coming soon, then you need to go ahead and renew it. And those that don't have a passport, just get past your fears, anxiety, whatever, and go ahead and apply for that passport. All right. So that's the first one. I'm gonna go ahead and check it off my list. And if you have any questions or comments, go ahead, drop them in the comments section. So the next thing, that was actually two, because I said the passport cards, I went on with that. With the passport cards don't work for flights. And if I didn't make myself clear, that's what it was. It was made more for cruises and for land crossing. And it, like by land, I mean like in a vehicle, and you can only do that from Mexico and Canada. So that's what it's good for. But you cannot use it for an international flight. So keep that in mind, okay? You need a passport. And while you're at it and you're applying for that passport, go ahead and get global entry. Just go ahead and apply for it. Just go ahead. It's good for 5 years. It will help you. You get the TSA pre-check along with it, and it help you get through customs when you come back. And I had it for when I came back from Dubai. Went through smooth when I came back into the States. But keep in mind also, I just want to put this tip out here. TSA and global entry is not effective in other countries. It's only for the USA, okay? Just so you know. So don't get all excited when you checking in again, coming back to the United States thinking there's a TSA line. There isn't. If you're in another country, it just isn't. So let's keep that in mind. All right. So moving on. This is another thing that I've seen, and I don't know why, y'all. Again, COVID has switched up everything, and you have to adjust. The next thing is get to the airport early. Why are y'all getting to the airport late? Yes, I have seen some people not thinking about that. So what I would say, and it may seem early, but if you have an international flight, you should strongly consider getting to the airport 3 to 4 hours early. I know it sounds crazy. I know you're like, what? I ain't got that much time in my life. But you don't want to miss the flight. Had some people, I think they showed up an hour and a half, maybe 2. Was different complications popped up. They missed their flight. They couldn't fly to the next day. That's the type of thing you want to avoid, especially with international travel. International travel requires a little more touch points to get through. So you want to make sure that. Now, some of the other things that hinder them is they weren't checked in ahead of time. So you should be checking in when you can. Check in online beforehand and get everything set up. If you are not checked in with the airline online before your travel date, then you really need to get to the airport early and make sure everything is checked in and squared away. Now, what are you going to do with all this other time in the airport? I've told you already. Go get your airport lounge pass and relax. If you're in New Orleans, don't quote me, but Delta, I do believe Delta's airport lounge is open. And New Orleans has a general one. I guess you could say it's not affiliated with a specific airline. It's just a general one. So you go hang out in the airport lounge, okay? That's what you do. because you need that peace of mind that you're going to make it onto your flight on time. And also, it gives you some time if something goes wrong or if something you need to handle, you still got that nice cushion window that you can take care of it. I think you've seen things on the news lately with how long the lines are. Labor Day is coming up, so keep that in mind. That's going to be a big travel weekend and everything. It's going to be packed in those airports, and you really need to consider that. And that's not just in the United States. When you're in another country, all those people that are about to head out to London in about a month, Travel Krewe will be there too. So all those people about to head out to London to go support the Saints and stuff, the Saints Vikings game, it's all good. But you got to realize it's a bunch of us about to go to London. I mean, it's gonna be hot, but it's gonna be packed in that airport. So you need to keep that in mind. Get to the airport on time. And when you're coming back, especially like I said to my people going to London, Heathrow Airport has been experiencing trouble, and that airport is probably going to be, I can only imagine what it's going to be like coming back to the States, because people may stagger when they're going to London, but coming back, pretty much everybody's coming back on that Monday. So that's just something to keep in mind. So this is why we need to get to the airport early, give time to process everything, okay? Because you never know what's going to happen. Just to give you an example, I got to the airport 3 or 4 hours early for Dubai, and there were some problems, not with us, but with the actual airport and the airline, and I barely made the flight, and it had nothing to do with me. But I was there early and stuff. So let's just keep that in mind. Is there anybody out there, I'm curious, that likes to push it? And meaning that you push it to the last minute of showing up, or do you like to show up early? Let me know in the comments below. I see some more of you have joined, but let me know in the comments below. Are you the type to show up early, or do you push it to the last minute? Again, to those that are out there, thank you so much for tuning in. This is Tabitha with the Travel Krewe, and tonight we've been talking about what not to do before your next trip. Okay, we touched on you need to renew your passport or get a new one. Touched on that passport cards do not work for international flights. We need you to get to the airport early. All right, so we see. All right, we got Sandra in here. Sandra says, no, she shows up early, and that's good to know, because Sandra is going to London with the Travel Krewe, and so definitely happy to see that. Tasha says she shows up early. See, these are good habits, y'all. These are good. These are good. All right, these are good things. We want you to keep doing these things. All right, this is good. All right, we're going to move on to the next one. You have heard me say this tons of times, and one day it's going to sink in for some of y'all. And I'm not going to talk because originally this wasn't me either, but get some travel insurance, okay? You really need to focus on this. And there's so many different types of travel insurance. I'm going to keep repeating it till everybody realizes the importance. I think more people started looking at travel insurance once COVID hit, and plans had to get canceled and changed and stuff. But you really need to look into protecting your investment, and that's what it is. Travel is an investment. Travel insurance can vary from the different types of coverage. You can cover your luggage, like lost luggage. There are canceled trips, emergencies that happen, and there's even medical coverage that travel medical coverage, to consider. One reason, I know some people kind of shy away from the medical coverage because they're like, oh, I have insurance. Your insurance is not good everywhere. Now, there are some people that work for international companies or whatever that the insurance plan may carry over into other countries. I get that. And if you do have that plan, hey, just make sure that your insurance is that your insurance will cover those expenses in that country. Usually, let me not speak for the insurance. You may have to pay and get reimbursed or whatever, but check where your insurance is good. Okay. Even if you are traveling in the United States, you need to check your insurance, because your insurance, depending on what you have, may have an out of network limit that will prevent you from getting whatever coverage you need for whatever medical thing. Now you may be like, why am I worried about that? You never know what may happen. Okay, you may slip and fall, you may get sick or whatever, and something like that, and the cost can get ridiculous when you're in another country and you got to get back to the United States. So that's just something to keep in mind. Okay, guys, so go ahead and look into that. Now if you want more details on insurance, we have a really good session with the insurance concierge, Aisha Bruton. We had that sometime back, but if you go to the YouTube channel, the Travel Crew, you can find it. And she broke it all down. She broke down, I mean, I'm talking about it, but there were things, and you can see me on the video. I'm like, what? I didn't even know everything. So she broke it all down. It's all there. Please take the time to go back, listen to it, because it's some good knowledge to know. And you need to protect yourself. Okay, guys, it's key. You need to protect yourself. It's not just about the trips being canceled, your luggage, it's the medical, it's everything. And so really look into it, find out what's best for you. And sometimes I think people think the insurance is going to be ridiculously high. You can find some pretty good plans and stuff. Some people are like, should they take the insurance that comes with the cruise line, or should they take the insurance? Like sometimes when you go to a resort, they offer the insurance. I would say it depends. With the cruise line, if let's say you lived in the port area, then it would cover the cruise, but it wouldn't necessarily cover all the medical coverage or maybe lost luggage. It's limits. I like to tell people to go ahead, and there's plenty of insurance companies that they will cover the cost of every trip. Maybe you booked your flight here, but you got your hotel through here. There's coverage, there's insurance policies or whatever that will just cover the whole package that you have. And so that's a good thing to do. So like I said, don't take my word for it. Go ahead, look up those videos. You can go to the Travel Cruise YouTube channel and look up what Aisha had to say. She has some good stuff there. Also, Aisha is in the Travel Crew group, the Travel Talk group. So if you're in the group and stuff and you want to, leave a question, you can do that, and she will be more than happy to answer it. She's that good. She's good people. All righty. So, look at that. We got a comment. So Sandra put a comment. She said, this is true. I work with the medical insurance every day. I also check about OOP, out-of-pocket fees. Yes, this is good. Good information. Check about the out-of-pocket fees. With that is sometimes there may be an amount that you have to pay first before, the insurance will cover things. And sometimes it, people call it a deductible, but sometimes there's just fees that you have to pay for being quote unquote, like kind of out of the network kind of thing, or just different fees. But look at your insurance policy. That's one thing, because you need to make sure that you're covered. Thank you, Sandra, for that. I appreciate that. All right, guys. So to the people that are tuning in, if you've been missing out, we've been talking about what not to do before your next trip. So I'm getting to the last one. We covered your passport. It needs to be up to date. Passport cards do not work for international flights. You need to get to the airport early. You need to get travel insurance. And here's the last one. And I have seen this mistake done, is don't overpack. Okay? I know how we are. We get happy. Because you're like, oh, girl, I'm about to go here. I need this dress. I need these shoes. I need, oh, girl, I saw that jumper. It looked good. I need that. Oh, I need about 8 swimsuits, even though you're doing a 4-day trip. I'm going to need a hat. I'm going to need some heels, some tennis shoes, because I may work out. I need some sandals. I'm going to need, you just go through the whole thing of what you're packing. But this is what's so funny. Why do we pack so many clothes when we don't wear that many clothes on a day-to-day basis? I mean, think about it. You get up, you put on whatever, your bottom and your top, or maybe it's a dress, and you pretty much stay in that all day. Unless you got something special planned and stuff. But we go crazy when we're going on vacation because we act like we're going to do a photo shoot. Because we act like, okay, I'm gonna go to breakfast in this, but then when I go outside to go tour, I'm gonna put on this, and then when you don't do that many changes and stuff, and you need to be realistic. Me personally, I try. My goal is to stick to one suitcase. I do bring a large suitcase for my international trips. That's my personal goal. I try my best to pack everything I can in one suitcase. I do use packing cubes, and I have used the compression bags. Like, I'm doing this because it's like you roll out the air out of those bags. I'll use that on my carry-on. I really pretty much, depending on the trip, I keep essentials. I'll keep my jewelry, any medicine, a toothbrush, a change of underwear for like a long international flight, uh, things like that. But I'm not packing a ton of stuff because I just don't feel like carrying it. But anyway, I'm saying this because I have seen people at the airport have to take stuff out because, and I can't lie, I've had to do that too. Like, what? I didn't make, just packing too much and you just don't make it. You're trying to avoid the fee. And so you're taking stuff out of your bag and everything. So I would say try to pack what you can, limited amount, and then go ahead and weigh your bag. There's you can put your bag on a scale. There's travel scales out there also that you can purchase and stuff. Weigh your bag and then know what the weight limit is for the airline and stuff, so you can go ahead and avoid those fees. But, and not just the fee issue, it's also just, you're lugging this stuff around. You have to think about that too. We had some people in Italy, they pack so much stuff. And one of the hotels that we were, you had kind of had to go down a little cobblestone road, and the vehicle couldn't get there. It was too narrow for a vehicle to go down. So we had to actually walk there and pull luggage. It wasn't too bad. It was just the fact that if you had two suitcases and stuff, it was kind of hard to manage on a cobblestone road. I'm not saying everything's going to be like that, but you need to think of those kind of things. Like, can you manage two big suitcases and stuff on your own? And then ask yourself, am I really going to wear all this stuff? So that's just things to consider. So I want to know, who's the overpacker? I want to know, who is it? Let me know. I think I used to be like that, but I started thinking about it like, do I really need a new pair of shoes with every outfit that I'm wearing? Like, could some of these shoes be used for more than one outfit? You're like, why? And I mean, we have them on the trip. We have them. We have them. We had somebody on our last South Africa trip. Baby, it was a fashion show every day. It actually got to the point we started anticipating, like waiting for him to come down just to see what he was gonna have, because it was gonna be some outfit, some tennis shoes to match it. It was all of that. And so, I mean, I'm not trying to knock your style or whatever. Just consider that if you are going to pack all that stuff, you're going to have to keep up with all those bags, and you may have to pay additional fees, for it being overpacked or for two bags or things like that. But I mean, if you all good with that, hey, do you? But I'm just saying, that's just something I see is people are overpacking and they're struggling with keeping up with that stuff. Let's see. Tasha, you said me. So you're an overpacker, Tasha? Is that what you're saying? You pack a lot? You give everybody a runway show when you go traveling? Is that what you do? But she's working on it. All right, y'all. Tasha says she's an overpacker, but she's working on it. And I did that. I pack more for road trips because I be feeling like it's a car. I could pile everything in, and I would be y'all. Sometimes I would like put shoe boxes, and I'm like, why am I bringing all these shoes and stuff? I got to wear a new pair of shoes each day. It's not necessary, and that's what you start thinking, why am I really doing this? That's how I started thinking. So I try to keep the comfortable shoes. If there is going to be something that you're going to dress up, you know, a pair of shoes to dress up. But most of the time, I'm trying to do comfort. One thing I did start packing that I never did before is, I don't know why, is lounge around clothes. And when I say lounge around, you know, a lot of us, like, you know, say you go to work for the day, you come home from work and stuff, you get out of your work clothes and you put on something comfy, like some sweatpants or some leggings or some shorts and a t-shirt and stuff, right? And you got on your house shoes, Crocs, flip flops, or whatever. I started doing that, and I got that because went to Italy, and I was a person I was rooming with. When we got to the hotel in Italy, went, took a shower, and put on the lounge clothes because we were resting up before we hit the streets and stuff. And I was like, why don't I pack those clothes? I pack all these outfits and stuff and don't pack up something that is just simply to sit around. So that's something I have started adding into my luggage. It's just I need a couple of things just to sit in the hotel room whenever I just need that, you know, wind down time and I'm not ready to put on my PJs or something like that. Just go ahead and sit in that. But I have started working on reducing the amount of things, the items that I bring in my suitcase. So is anybody else working on it besides Tasha? I know somebody's out there. Y'all just don't want to admit it. Or do y'all have it on point and y'all can pack everything? You're a light packer. And if you are, hey, kudos to you. Now, what I haven't been able to do, I think I did once or twice, where I've a carry-on. I've tried it on a 4-day trip to DC, and somewhere else I went, I did a carry-on. I think a 3-day trip to 2 or 3 days to Atlanta. If it's 1 or 2 days, of course I can do, you know, a carry-on bag. But I was shocked that I was able to pull it off for DC. But I like really tried, and it was easier because it was summer, so I had shorts and stuff. But I'm not one of those. I don't know how people do it. I just don't know how y'all do it. Where people pack that carry-on bag, and that's all they have, and they don't ever check a bag, and they just come in and, you know, onto the flight, and they put their bag in the overhead compartment. I'm just like, I don't know how y'all do it. So I'm good that I finally got myself down to one suitcase, but I have not been able to pack, you know, a long trip into a carry-on bag. And I see it all the time. I see those things where people are like, oh, I packed for a 2-week trip around the world and just to carry on. I mean, there's all kind of videos. You can look on YouTube about it. And people always have these packing tips, but I'm just not there yet. Just not. I'm just content with going ahead and just limiting it to one suitcase. And I do find that packing cubes and those compression bags, they're made, Ziploc makes some, and there's some other brands, but you can see them. They're similar to those vacuum seal bags that you see those commercials for, but instead of vacuuming, you roll them. So you put your clothes in the bags and then you roll it and all the air comes out. And they get really, really flat. So that's something to consider too. So guys, I don't see any more questions or comments and everything in the comment section. I touch on these things. Like I said, you've probably heard them before, but some of y'all are still making those mistakes, and I need you guys to stop doing that, okay? Because we're just trying to have fabulous travel experiences. So to recap, we need you to go ahead. I still need you to do this. When I say bye and I press end this session, I need you to get up, go get your passport, look at the date, and see when it's expiring. And if it's expiring in less than 6 months from your next trip, you need to go ahead and put in the renew papers now. And if you don't have a passport, you need to go ahead and make those steps, guys. Come on, apply for your passport, and then put it in the group. Let us know. I went ahead and I applied for my passport. I renewed my passport, so we can go ahead and give you some kudos, some cheers, and things like that, some applause. So let us know. Do that. Next, if you have a passport card, it's all good, but you can't use that if you're flying international. And if you plan on doing that, then you also need to go ahead and get your passport if you don't already have one. Get to the airport early. Stop trying to cut it short. go ahead. You can spend the time that you got in the airport lounge or whatever. Maybe just walk around, take a walk, get you some steps in or whatever. But you need to get to the airport early. Remember, Labor Day is coming up. That's going to be a packed weekend in those airports. So you need to get to the airport early. And for everybody that's going to London for that Saints game, there's a lot of us going to London for that Saints game. So you need to consider that the airport is about to be packed. And then Heathrow on Monday is going to be ridiculous. The Monday after the game, because it's not just the New Orleans folks, you got the Minnesota people too. So you got all these people in London Heathrow Airport trying to get back to the United States. So that's something to keep in mind, okay? You need to get to the airports early. I also talked about travel insurance. If you need to know more about travel insurance, you can go to the YouTube page and search for the session with the insurance concierge, who is Aisha Bruton. She breaks it down beautifully, everything you need to know about insurance. And if you have questions about travel insurance, you can put them into the Travel Crew group. Aisha is in that group, and I know we can get her to answer that. So do that. And then the last thing is overpacking. Come on, y'all. Let's try to reduce. I mean, unless if you are comfortable paying an extra fee, or you're comfortable, maneuvering 2 bags and stuff, it's all good. But if it may be a little hassle, work on trying to reduce how much you pack. All right. So, Sandra put up a good one. What about masks? Yes, with a mask. So, I will say, I know some people are not, some people don't want to wear a mask. You need to look at the airline that you're flying on, the country that you're visiting, what their guidelines and things are. Me personally, I'm going to wear a mask on a flight because that's just me. But it's a good thing to have, even if you're not going to wear it, pack it just in case, because you never know what may happen or where you may enter that may require one. And so it's better to have it than to just be caught off guard. Okay. So that's a good thing to do. Thank you, Sandra. Go ahead and pack a mask. It won't hurt you. Just keep it with you, and just keep that in mind, especially numbers, numbers may be going up soon. It's getting colder. I know that's where it tends to be a rise. So let's keep that in mind. I know some facilities that had lifted the mask regulations have gone back to it. So keep that in mind. So pack your mask also. Thank you so much. Tasha says she's still wearing hers as well. So yeah, so do that. And wear it, even if it's not mandated. If that's what you feel comfortable with, by all means wear it. Okay, but still, if it's not mandated, I would strongly suggest you pack them, and don't just put them in your suitcase. Put them in your personal bag. Okay, just to keep them with you, because if you feel like, oh, I'm in a crowded space and I'm not feeling comfortable, you can grab your mask real quick. Or if you're entering somewhere that says we require your mask, bam, you got it on you. Okay, so that's a good thing too. All right, guys, this is good. I'm glad. Another session. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, I wish you a great weekend. Have some fun. New Orleans people, be safe in this weather. Everybody be safe. Everybody just be safe, be blessed, be you, be positive and everything. And as always, thank you so much for tuning in and supporting me. I greatly appreciate it. I don't see any more comments, so that's good. And I will see you next week, guys. Thanks.